Hail to the king, baby.
Blood Mall Retaped is a short first-person horror game inspired by creature features of the 80s and the works of Puppet Combo. You take control of a big game hunter turned rookie cop, and you're sent in to deal with a prehistoric threat that has turned the Dayton County Mall into a blood-soaked hell. And man, does it remind me a lot of either Dawn of the Dead or Dead Rising. Of course, that comparison is exclusively because it's based in a mall. Blood Mall is interesting. It's another short form, 30-minute or so long horror game. A game that started on itch.io and is now on Steam with achievements. A game where you can walk around slowly or run a bit, get ambushed by a threat, and hunt that exact same threat. You can run into several people, some not so nice, others a bit nicer, mostly all of them scared, and some of them even yearning for death. Blood Mall is an old school sort of game with a really cool soundtrack, really cool VHS tape vibe and feel to both the menu and the actual end game. The voice acting's decent, it's interesting. It has its moments of jump scares and creepy moments. There's a bit of lore and stuff you can find lying around that kind of allude to what may or may not be going on. And there's a surprising amount of depth in those notes or information you can find lying around, or the locations you end up, or the people you talk to. The radio store employee who just acts as if nothing's going on at all. He's obviously absolutely insane. There is a few people in a couple other stores. You can run into a Ronald McDonald style character in a bathroom, and that can go a couple different ways. It actually would make for a perfect zombie game if they really wanted to just add zombies, No. But I think that the prehistoric threat that is ever present and looming over the mall at all times adds a pretty interesting change to the horror genre. Because outside of Dino Crisis, there's not a ton of dinosaur-based horror games. Now, we're starting to get more here and there compared to the past, but it's still an interesting genre that you don't see very much. And much like the inspiration for Blood Mall, Puppet Combo, and all of their games, Overhaul really did take from that. It's the 80s exploitation film sort of thing. This game is bloody, it's gory, it's wild to look at sometimes. Some of the things that you're able to do and some of the things that you're asked to do are pretty intense. The fights with the dinosaur itself are interesting and tense. The final stretch of the game is pretty intense. A lot of running, a lot of shooting, and it's entertaining. The gun feels fun, it feels like it has impact. The locations, I feel like you're in a mall. I mean, obviously, of course, you can really tell that the locations that you can't enter they literally just look like pictures plastered on a wall. They're not super convincing. All of the other locations that you can actually enter, and some of them that you can't, do look a bit better and look awesome. And obviously, they're very much so in reference to a lot of other things. And of course, it's hard to make any game in a mall and not call back to the likes of Dawn of the Dead or even Dead Rising in any way. There's also a lot of references to other horror-related media. There's one that I'm very fond of. In the arcade store, there is a Necronomicon sort of book that is a reference to the publisher, Necronomisoft, and it does a Evil Dead sort of moment that I'll let you see here. Now see, that was cool. That was really, really cool, and I kind of was like, oh, that's awesome. I can't believe they did that. That was cool. I even had to turn around and look and see if there was anything there, because it was just cool. But since I mentioned Necronomisoft, I want to say thank you to Necronomisoft, Overhaul, and of course Dosmangames, and and Sam Marshall for sending me this game. This really, really fun 80s exploitation film inspired puppet combo-esque video game. This short experience with the ability to pretty much, from my understanding, kill just about everyone that you come across. Here's a handful of different achievements. Like I said, it's short, it's simple, straight to the point, but the atmosphere and the music, the just thick, tense feeling in the air of where is this dinosaur, what's gonna happen next, how you're gonna deal with different people that you encounter, or as the story progresses and the more information you learn about what you're up against and what's going on and what happened and what could have happened potentially is very interesting. And it makes me really excited to see what they're going to do with Blood Mall 2, because Blood Mall 2 looks really cool. And I would be really interested in being one of the survivors in Blood Mall 2 if they do anything similar to what they did with Blood Mall Retaped, where they got some people to basically sign up to do some of these characters, which I thought was really cool. I wish I would have seen that, because I would have joined up in a heartbeat. But I think Blood Mall, for what it is, and especially for $2, is very much so worth $2. $2 for 30 minutes and some replayability, different outcomes for characters and achievements, as well as just different secrets and little Easter eggs that you can find throughout the game. I think that's worth it, and I think that's pretty cool. You know, the worst thing that I can say about Blood Mall Retaped is that I want more, that I wish that it was 3 hours long or 10 hours long versus being 30 minutes. And I really hope that with Blood Mall 2 they really make like a bit longer of a game, and maybe they add some survival horror aspects and inventory management or some form of resources or something like that. Maybe make the characters and people you find in the game have these little side quests or something. That would be really cool. Anything to like flesh out this base of a game. There's already like a wonderful foundation there, and if you just build on that, you could really, really, really make something super special. And I think this game can really go somewhere with that. It can be the Dino Crisis style game for the modern time, until of course Capcom remakes Dino Crisis. It's in your hands, Ollie. You gotta do it. But once again, I want to thank you guys for the key.